Welcome back to the Dividend Diplomats YouTube channel. You've got Bert the Herd over there at his casa, and you got Big Al rolling deep. And we can't wait to talk to you about the one, the only, the rethink possible AT&T stock.
You know the drill. Smash that subscribe button. Give us that thumbs up. Yeah, here's it. I put it up on the camera the right way. Missed it before. We can't wait to talk to you about AT&T because there has been some news that we need to bring to you that could impact the company's dividend and let us know, is the company a stock to buy at its current price?
AT&T right now, the stock price on AT&T is $30 per share, finally getting a little bit of appreciation post the sales of Crunchyroll and the news about selling portion of their DirecTV business to the third-party private equity firm. Now, at AT&T stock price of $30, the big question we've been receiving, vast number of comments and emails that the Dividend Diplomats have been receiving is, do we continue to still buy AT&T stock? And, in Bert, kind of looking at AT&T stock as one to buy right now, we first need to look at the S&P 500. Bert, where is the S&P 500 currently trading at?
It is trading at absolutely insane levels, Lanny. I'm talking out of control. I thought this was a first for me when I saw the S&P 500's PE ratio cross 40x in the last week. We've been saying it's between 35 and 40. Now it just crossed that 40 times earnings level. So think about that, everybody. The stock price is insane compared to the earnings in the market. Absolutely insane. So yeah, what does that tell us? Finding an undervalued dividend stock is very difficult in this market environment. So it's a very fair question for all of our viewers, all of our followers that have seen us talk about AT&T over the months to continue to ask us at these current prices, at a current market with a 40 plus PE ratio, is AT&T a stock to buy?
And Bert and I, we have 7 big headline pieces of news that we wanted to bring to the table here about AT&T. And again, if you've seen our blog, you've read it, or you've seen one of our first videos, AT&T is a stock in our top 5 foundation stocks for your dividend portfolio. And because of that, similar to Bert taking a relook at J&J, now that he's buying it each and every week, go Bert. We always do look at AT&T amongst the other foundation stocks. And right now at AT&T at $30 per share with these 7 pieces of news, it was time to take another look at AT&T as a stock to buy.
Yeah, we couldn't have said it any better, Lanny, and that's why we're pumped too. This company is obviously a high-profile company. It's followed by a lot of dividend investors because we own a lot. A ton of dividend growth investors own this stock. It's a huge part of a lot of people's retirement portfolio. So every major piece of news for AT&T trickles through to us individual investors and has a major impact on our financial position and especially our journey to financial freedom. So Lanny, I know you said we have 7 different stories here. Would you want to talk about the first one here, about what happened with AT&T?
Yeah, we'll go through I'll take on the first 2 pieces of news out of, again, 7, because again, we're trying to not take up so much of your time. We want to get to the news, get to the metrics, and get to kind of what we're thinking with AT&T as a stock right now. The first piece that I saw we look at news throughout the week, each week, and we didn't want to come out with the video last week or the week before because we just didn't think it was enough.
Yeah.
But AT&T, we just got the news that they have secured a $231 million government contract to help with government agency and their telecommunications networks. So $231 million, though, seems large. It's not that significant, but a huge government contract win for AT&T of $231 million isn't anything to scoff at.
Yeah, we're not talking pennies under the couch cushions here. We're talking, these are some serious dollars that are going to flow through to the company and investors.
Right. So that's the first piece. And the next piece of news, 2 out of 7 here, they've already been successful in expanding that fiber network. Everybody wants fiber right now. AT&T is delivering that fiber network. I know even at work right now, we're looking at a telecommunications analysis and it's got to be fiber, right? Well, AT&T's fiber network, their plan was to get to 3 million new locations in 2021, and they're well on their way. And they already announced plans to add 4 million new locations in 2022 for their internet fiber.
Yeah, my father-in-law has AT&T fiber for his internet, and then I have regular AT&T, regular because it's still very fast, and just the download and upload speeds on fiber are just phenomenal. So that'll be a huge difference maker for AT&T when they continue that rollout.
Right. I mean, that just means access to more customers, faster internet, more potential revenue for AT&T. So
Yeah,
Bert, did you kind of go into the next couple big items for AT&T?
I did because they both kind of tie together here. They both relate to AT&T's expansion into 5G. No, one of their pillars, in addition to improving internet speed with fiber, they also want to expand 5G and compete with Verizon, one of our other favorite stocks that we've been buying recently. And the oncoming T-Mobile and Sprint consolidated company and the journey to become that best 5G network. While the results of that massive 5G auction that we continue to talk about in the past were released, and it turns out AT&T, they weren't the largest spender. Verizon spent the most money in this auction, but it was released that AT&T spent $23 billion in a 5G auction to improve their network capabilities and expand more 5G access to its customer base.
Huge, huge. I mean, $23 billion coming in second with the 5G auction. Obviously, the FCC was very happy that the auction, brought in over $81 billion across all bids. First was Verizon, ticker symbol VZ. We've been picking them up. I'm still almost at 50 shares, but not there yet. T-Mobile was obviously third, and then United States Cellular Corp was 4, and New Level 2 Limited Partnership was 5th. But AT&T was a clean number 2 at $23.4 billion in that auction to be, one of the largest soon-to-be providers across that spectrum of 5G.
Yeah, so the fourth piece of major news, now that Lanny, they've won this auction and they've gotten all this new 5G capabilities, you have to roll it out somehow, right? There's got to be some way like, okay, they won the auction, they won 23 billion in this auction, poof, 5G is better, right? No, not so fast, my friends, as Lee Corso would say. They signed a deal with Nokia to help them deploy all of this new 5G equipment to help take this network and blow it out of the water. So they have major news, much like fiber and their commitment to blow fiber out of the water. They are now planning to roll out this 5G and become that major player and compete with Verizon and T-Mobile.
Exactly. I mean, obviously a nice little venture right there with Nokia. Obviously dollars are going to be exchanged there, but that's going to help AT&T roll it out. And so that was a lot of conversation about telecommunications standpoint, telecommunications, fiber, 5G. Now going in again, that was 4 pieces of news we just covered. Going in number 5, we're going to segue into the HBO Max subscription growth.
Mm-hmm.
I know you were pumped up to talk about HBO Max and what they're doing for the movies. Obviously there's the heavy advertising that's going on behind there, as well as the subscription. Yeah. What is going on?
Yeah, so stories 5, 6, and 7 all tie into HBO Max, and they're releasing this. The first piece was in their January earnings release, where they let you know that, hey, the subscription growth in their news activations is climbing exponentially here. Back at the end of January, they reported double the activations in the fourth quarter alone, and now they had 17.2 new users, which obviously tied into their news where they were releasing movies directly to HBO Max the same day as theaters. Of course, your subscriptions are going to jump. But at the time, that was major because that pushed their HBO Max subscription base to over 40 million for the new network that just launched in 20 million. I mean, in 2020, not 20 million, but that's a huge growth, showing that this engine is there to help build and have AT&T compete with Netflix, with Disney Plus and everything. So that was the first piece of the good news. The second one was recently the company talked about raising their subscription forecast and their subscription growth for HBO Max. So the news gets better. By the end of 2021, the company is expecting 67 to 70 million users. That's insane. So that's another, 50% growth from the number that I just talked about right there. That's a huge number of growth there with just over 9 months left in the rest of the year. But that didn't just stop there. They even raised the bar even higher because by the end of 2025, management's expecting 120 to 150 million subscribers to HBO Max, which puts it on par with Disney Plus and Netflix easily.
Wow. And then on the last piece of news with HBO Max, it's going to be a huge and a boom because, I know what the other players are doing and I know what consumers' mindsets usually are. But if you want a cheaper HBO Max plan, you'll just have to have ads with that plan. So, I mean, advertising, that's where it's coming. It's coming to all the streaming services. So get ready to see more of that. You want a lower cost plan because you have so many, well, get ready to watch ads.
Mhm.
HBO is set to launch that cheaper tiered pricing on that HBO Max this summer. So expect subscription to growth again is going to increase more now because of that going into Bert's forecasted numbers there.
And the one major difference between this and their higher tiered plans is you're just not going to get movies on the same day they launch in the theater. But I'm not the biggest movie person, so for somebody for me, this is a little bit more attractive. Save some dollars, watch a few non-intrusive ads, but still get the full HBO Max experience.
And maybe you'll have Dividend Diplomat ads while you're watching your favorite show.
Yeah, but wait, Lanny, here's the question now. We've been through our 7 articles that and news pieces that have been released for AT&T. Here is what the viewers really want to watch and learn. Is AT&T a stock to buy at $30 per share? Lanny, how are we going to go about figuring this out?
Well, you listen up, Jack. There's only one way to put AT&T in the octagon to figure out if they are a stock to buy right now. And Bert, what is that?
That is an octagon that is shaped a lot like the Dividend Diplomat's dividend stock screener. With our 3 simple metrics we use to run every company and see if it's an undervalued stock to buy. The 3 metrics: PE ratio less than the S&P 500, dividend payout ratio less than 60%, and a history of increasing dividends. So Lanny, let's kick this off. Why don't you take this first metric here in the stock screener?
So AT&T, as we talked earlier in the beginning of the video, trading at $30 per share, which is actually quite a bit above where they were trading at in the past 12 months in that $27 to $29 range. Finally getting some appreciation, more than likely because of all the market bumps that are happening right now. But analysts are projecting an earnings of 2021 of $3.13. So you already know this is below a 10 times earnings. So you take that 30 divided by $30.13, and their price to earnings ratio is an alarmingly low 9.6.
That is way below that 40 times earnings that we were talking about early in the video. So a huge check mark right there. Metric number 2 right here. Let's roll right into it. The dividend payout ratio. Their annual dividend, $2.08 per share. Take that divided by the forward earnings that Lanny mentioned. That gives you a dividend payout ratio of 66%. So slightly above our 60% ratio, but there's still plenty of room before it hits that 100% bar. That would really concern us because that would mean if a payout ratio is over 100%, a company's paying out more than it's earning, which isn't sustainable. AT&T, not the case with a 65% dividend payout ratio.
What all the investors are curious about, and what we're curious about too, is that growth this year. Will AT&T grow that dividend? If I look at my time right now, time's ticking. So they've got a few more months to go this year for them to bump the increase and receive the increase in 2021.
Yeah, they got to save that dividend aristocrat status somehow. So you're right. Time's ticking. We'll see. They have the history, but will they continue? Who knows?
Right. I mean, I'm more optimistic. If you look at the equilibrium of no or yes, they will increase it. I'm now on the half of yes because of all of what they're doing with 2 big sales, plus all of this new subscription growth with HBO Max, as well as the promise of 5G.
Yeah, I've been optimistic before. So I've been burned there on that stage. So I'm just gonna wait a little bit longer to see.
So currently out there in the market as the bonus metric, we always go over the dividend yield. The S&P 500 currently only yields between 1.5 to 1.6% right now if you're lucky. Your online high yield savings account is currently yielding you 0.50%, more than likely if you're lucky. Ally, Capital One, maybe Goldman Sachs Markets platform. So this is where AT&T gets interesting because their dividend is $2.08 per year or 52 cents per share per quarter. That dividend yield still is a blistering 6.93% or 7%, Bert.
Insane. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing more to say. That's a great yield, and that's why so many people love AT&T. At least if they're not going to grow their dividend at a high rate, they're going to pay a high dividend. So that's nice to see.
So in summary, you've got a price to earnings that's well below the market. Market's currently 39 to 40 times for earnings right now. AT&T is trading at only 9.6. Payout ratio is 66%, actually lower than what Pepsi is, Cokes, and many other dividend aristocrat stocks. And they have a current dividend yield of 7% with, again, they are a dividend aristocrat currently. So the question everybody wants to know, is AT&T a stock to buy at current prices?
That's the million-dollar question here, isn't it? So for my take, my personal take, I'm going to be watching AT&T. I already have a large position, so to me that's a major disclaimer in here. I'm very satisfied with my position for AT&T. I deem it as a full position in my portfolio, so I'm not actively looking to add. I'd rather continue adding more to my Johnson & Johnson position, which I've been discussing as my strategy, even going above and beyond my 1 share per week purchase, or rounding out my Verizon position or some of the other ones. Not that AT&T isn't showing signs of undervaluation, because it clearly is for the reasons that Lanny talked about when he summarized the metrics. My position is full, and I could easily be talked into by somebody to hear why they would consider AT&T a stock to buy at $30 per share. What do you think, Lanny?
Obviously do your own research, perform your own investment decisions. Disclaimer, but if you don't own telecommunications right now, you don't own AT&T, you're looking to start dividend investing, $30 a share, it's not a bad thought to add AT&T to your current dividend stock portfolio.
Yeah, I think that's a very fair assessment, and it's a great way to start building your dividend stock portfolio, building undervalued stocks. But here's the other piece of this equation. What do you think about AT&T at this price? You've heard our position on it. We want to hear what you think about AT&T. What do you like AT&T at
Hey, you take it easy, bro. You take it easy, man.
Looks like this is going to be a part of every video, everybody. So
you talking to me? I don't see nobody else here. You must be talking to me. No, but so what do I think? So I currently own in my taxable account almost 260 shares of AT&T, just my account alone, not even considering my wife's account. Currently I'm going to be with Bert. I'm going to wait and see kind of what's going on. But again, if Verizon keeps going up, because they've now gone up a couple dollars per share since we've been buying them. We were getting them in the mid to low 50s. Now they're at $57 to $58 per share. Swinging in that range. I'm going to keep a close eye on AT&T as well as the upcoming earnings release and another investor call as well, just to see if they're on track or better than on track of their forecasted subscription growth and revenue targets.
Sounds like we're both going to be watching AT&T to see what goes on with the company. So again, let us know what you think as well and what you're going to be doing at $30 per share. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. Give this video a thumbs up. Thanks everyone for helping us cross 7,000. We are on the journey to 10,000 subscribers. So we appreciate all the love and support you've given us so far.
And maybe at 10,000, I'll give Bert a nice sweet chin music right there, HBK style.
It could happen. We'll see. We'll see.
Again, we appreciate you guys for stopping by. Love the comments on if AT&T is a stock to buy at $30 per share. That was Bert the Hurt and Lanny from the Dividend Diplomats.
Over and out.